everybody, this is Sherry at djsundry.blogspot.com, and I have a fun project for you tonight. I am making a birthday card for my nephew's birthday, which was actually today, so once again it's going to be late. But I'm making this birthday card for his birthday. So what we're starting out here with is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock cut in half at 5.5 inches and scored at 4 1/4 to form our A2 size card. Now this is kind of an interesting color combination because I really kind of wanted blue, and I wanted blue stars, but I couldn't find my blues didn't match. So I just decided we would just completely change it up and go with red. So this is my card base. Now we're going to start with the inside of the card because I want to get it going first, and that's where I'm actually doing my stamping. So I'm going to set the card base aside. And I have a blue piece of paper here. Now this is just a blue piece that was from an old project. It was a scrap that I had. And what I did is I have this fun wavy print from the Hopscotch Boys from K & Company. And I had, again, I used a scrap that I had in my scrap bin. And I cut off a strip that is 1/2 inch wide by 5 1/4 inches. The blue piece is 5 1/4 by 4. So this is the 1/2 inch. And then I also cut another one 1/2 inch. And then I used my Fisker scallop punch and punched the top. And I just did that to save some time. So we're going to let's start with a glue pen. I think will be the easiest to put the top on. So I've got my little zig pen here. And let's just run some glue along the top. I just think that will be a little simpler for such a narrow strip. I actually would have liked to have just put this as a mat under the blue piece, but I didn't have a piece big enough already cut, and I didn't want to cut into a whole 12 by 12 sheet for just a small piece for a mat. So this is called using what you have to help reduce waste. Okay, so there's where we're going to put our strip. And since I've got this glue pin out, let's just go ahead and just glue that down as well. Now this hopscotch paper is my glue pin's about dead. This hopscotch paper is actually double-sided paper, and I doubt if the camera's even picking it up, but the other side of this print is a kind of a notebook looking paper. So that is just going to go right along the bottom, just like that. Just to kind of create a frame for my mat. And then what I've done is I've taken the K. Andrew Designs of Mice and Little Men stamp set, and I used Reach for the Stars. And I'm going to take my Fired Brick Distress ink, and I'm going to stamp my Reach for the Stars. Now I actually did this in the Cricut craft room, and I didn't really need to because I didn't do anything special with the image that I'm going to be doing other than just cutting it. But I was kind of planning the craft room, kind of learning how to do it, and I thought, oh, I'll just go ahead and do this. And then I decided not to go ahead and use a card base in Cricut. I just decided to cut my own base. So this is the inside of our stamp. It says Reach for the Stars. Isn't that cute? You know, I really like to finish off the inside of my cards when at all possible, because I just think it just gives it that extra touch that it needs to just complete the whole pictures, and that's just the way I like to do it. Not everybody likes to finish off their inside of their cards. Another reason I like to do it is because I often use dark card bases that you would have to be really careful about writing on, and so that's another reason I like to use it. So there's the outside, or the inside of my card, Reach for the Stars. My nephew just turned 5 today. So now I did have a larger piece. I had cut first of the same striped paper from Hopscotch, and I cut it at 5 1/4 inches by 4 inches, and then I took another piece of the red for the base and I just cut it 1/4 inch in, so it's 5 inches by 3 3/4. And then I had these basic gray brads. They're painted brads, and I believe they all coordinate with their Life is a Party line, and I just paper pierced it and put it through. I adhered it first and then I put it through, and the reason I put it through both layers, I hadn't planned to do that, but the reason I did is because I put my holes a little too close to the edge and the brad tails hung over the end. So I'm just going to use quite a bit of adhesive because I don't want all that bulk poking back, or you know, I want my card to adhere to its base very well and not all that bulk coming back. So I put extra ATG there. Now this red border here kind of gets lost in the red stripe, but that's just the way the paper fell, and not a whole lot I could really do about that with the paper I was using. Okay, so there's our top. Now this is the image that I cut from the Imagine More cartridge. It's this blast off image, and it says, "Hope your birthday's a blast." And I thought that was fitting for a 5-year-old. So we're going to go ahead and adhere some of the layers together, and I went ahead and cut it in layers. You can choose not to cut it in layers, and it would save both paper and probably a little bit of ink if it printed all together. But I like to add dimension to some of the elements and not to all of the elements, so I just decided to split up the layers. Now before I put my rocket down, because it will kind of hang over the edge like this, and so I want to kind of see where it's going to be positioned, and we'll go ahead and adhere that to the base. And I know I'm kind of getting off camera here. And really this card is just about done. I think I want that one just about like that. There we go. And then we'll just add a bunch of adhesive to the back. Okay. Again, this one's being mailed, and so I want to add some dimension, but I want it to be strong enough. I don't want my card to fall apart, so that's all the extra adhesive on the back. Okay, so hope your birthday's a blast. And then the word blast, when you cut it in layers, cuts out again. And so what I chose to do is I wanted to add a little bit of dimension, but not as much as what foam would add. And I don't really have foam tape per se, and so what I did instead is I got out some mini glue dots, and I don't know if that's really going to add much dimension or not, but it just seemed like it would kind of give it a little more movement than if I had just taped it down with ATG. But then on the rocket part, I went ahead and took my mini foam squares from Recollections and decided to go ahead and pop those up a little bit, so there'll be a little bit of dimension with that. I'm getting used to paying extra postage for cards, but hey, I'm not buying cards, so it's all okay. All right, so there's our birthday card for my 5-year-old nephew. It says, "Hope your birthday's a blast," and then on the inside, it says, "Reach for the stars." So thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.